Hari Om. Today we consider the case of geometrical meaning of angular momentum. Actually, it refers to the expressing angular momentum in terms of some geometrical shapes. Means as the body rotates with respect to an axis, the position vector will be describing a certain shape and geometrical shape, and if you can express that angular momentum in terms of that geometrical shape, then that is taken to be the geometrical meaning of angular momentum. Now suppose I consider a body of mass m which is moving in the xy plane. That is, suppose this is the plane in which the body is moving, and initially the body of mass m is at this place, and the position vector of that can be taken as this one, and let that position vector be r. And by the application of a force F, the body moves from this position x, let us say the position as C, to a position D. So the body, by the application of the force F, it is moving from C to D linearly, so that this displacement is very small, let it be delta r, such that the new position vector can be equal to, this is a new position vector, and this new position vector can be equal to r plus delta r. Vector condition you can consider. Now, as the body is moving from A to B, the position vector r is actually describing an area here, and this area I can take it as delta A. Area will be equal to delta A. So a very small area, and let it be in vector form delta. Very good. Now, as the body describes this area, as the body moves back, the position vector is describing this area, and that is with respect to a direction that is z axis. So with respect to this z axis, the body is now rotating. So there will be a, what you call a torque will be acting along this axis, and you can take that torque to be r cross f, and there will be an angular momentum L which is equal to r cross p acting along this direction. Everything is there. Now we start the concept with, let delta r is very small. This is where we are starting. So that r plus delta r will be equal to, or almost equal to, r itself. Okay? And as this small displacement is taking place in a very small time, delta t seconds, then that delta r can be equal to the velocity into delta t I can take, where v is the velocity with which the body is shifting from C to D. So delta r can be equal to v into delta t. Okay. consider the area of the triangle OCD. So, area of triangle OCD, let it be equal to delta A, a very small value. Therefore, the area of triangle OCD will be equal to delta A, which can be equal to half into base into height, that is delta R height of it. As this being OCD a triangle, I can take the area as half into base into height, and therefore it comes like this. Now when I substitute for this delta, this can be equal to half into R into D into delta T. Okay. So our aim is to bring that angular momentum into this, and therefore I will be taking this B here as in terms of linear momentum, that linear momentum P will be equal to M into V, so that V can be equal to P by M. Okay? P by M. So I bring that P by M into this, and therefore delta A therefore will be equal to half into R into P by M into delta T, I could say. Now you can see that the vector R into vector P is coming here, and you know that angular momentum L is equal to R cross P, and here I am getting R into P. I can take that R into P as the max value of angular momentum, because as the body rotates with respect to the z axis, actually this mass is moving almost along the circumference of the circle, that R and this R are almost, R plus delta R are almost the same. Therefore, the linear momentum and this R vector will be perpendicular to each other. That is, linear momentum and position vector R will be perpendicular to each other, and therefore I can take this R cross P as maximum, and I can substitute this to be delta A equal to half into angular momentum L divided by L into delta T. So from this equation I can have angular momentum L therefore will be equal to 2 times mass into delta A by delta T. And this is actually the geometrical meaning of angular momentum. That angular momentum L equal to 2 times mass of the body into aerial velocity of the particle. Delta A by delta T. That is, rate of describing of area will be equal to aerial velocity of the particle executing this rotational motion. So, this is the case of what you call geometrical meaning of angular momentum. And remember, here we are expressing the angular momentum in terms of the geometrical shape, that is a triangle shape. Now, what is the importance of this geometrical meaning of angular momentum? That you know the second law of Kepler, or Kepler's second law of planetary motion. There we are coming across a quantity called aerial velocity. This aerial velocity of the planets moving around the sun are found to be a constant. And to prove that second law of Kepler, you can take the geometrical meaning of angular momentum. So, Kepler's second law says that the radius vector drawn from the sun to the planet sweeps out equal areas in equal intervals of time. That means aerial velocity of the planet remain constant. So I can take this angular momentum equation, that is geometrical meaning of angular momentum, and to prove the second law of Kepler. That as we know, angular momentum L equal to 2 times mass into aerial velocity of the planet. Okay, let me repeat. Now for the heavenly bodies which are moving around the sun, the angular momentum of the planet is conserved. That means for the planet moving around the sun, the torque acting is found to be 0. If the torque acting is 0, the angular momentum L will be a constant. Thus we said, if angular momentum of the planet to remain constant, now consider here. If this angular momentum of the planet to remain constant, then aerial velocity delta A by delta T for the planet should remain constant. And this is what actually we are defining there in second law of Kepler. So geometrical meaning is very important, and using that we can obtain or you can prove the second law of Kepler.